Morning opening prayer. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May their experience of happiness be separate from suffering decisively. I will establish them in the still one surpass perfect complement the precious Buddhahood. All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May the experience happiness be separate from suffering decisively. Always to reach them in the still ones of us perfect complement the precious Buddhahood. Dala don't worry zibida, nobody zibige. Torba dan tam jin jin be barde ju bar zeba tam je je zo zebe. Manam ga dan yam be zim jin dam je dewa dan de. Nong ara dan ra nyor de lana me va yang da bar zo be zan jo rumbo je do bar zo. Dasanta achieving like dreaming, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Under death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the kind Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadam. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and the Dhamma Gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Under I take the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and the likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As the Privasa Buddha's ambassador enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta, and apply myself to accomplish the stage of the path. In the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge and enlightenment reach. By the merit of generosity and the good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in calamity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind toward Tathagatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reaching the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it, represent those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samadhavara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I posted to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. Each atom I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus, our space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise our Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the Goshin of the excellent qualities. To our Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, honor and oils, manifesting like indifferent grinds. I make offerings to the offering garments, perform and prepare for the highest Mumeru and orange most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to Buddhas. I prostrate to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Samadhabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all Buddhas and the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattva and the Pachika Buddhas. Those have attained Aharasha, those have entire the path of Aharasha and other beings. I request to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest aware of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of ignorance in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddhas intending passing to Parinirvana to living long for as many eons as they are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through both stations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The ground is sprinkling with the sainted water, and is true with the flowers. It is adorned with the mirror, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the moon. As a Buddha fair, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness as a Buddha fares. To the Lama who possesses the Tirikayas, I offer water in the sacred offerings. With my body, where and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying. For the sake of enlightenment, our sentient beings, or these are dedicated on Guru Mandala Punza Mangasam. Savarina Samaye Ahon. I go to you, no me what the word. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor, what the other with the door. I bought a feet of Father and Jiti Songong. Continue that thing with no one but you. Compassion, one grant your blessings. Despair, darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of the mind. The police stand aware of the Dharma of the true vehicles and the combination. According to this position, the likewise mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of clouds of two words, and perceived the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds wisdom, takes it, he has a compassion for beings who suffering from the darkness of ignorance in the prison of samsara as a father for only son. Like a thunderclap, he wakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branch of Haramani speech. He wears the wisdom silver to cast Satan over suffering to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Buddhist hour form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplishing the 10 levels and perfect in the body of knowledge. I supplicate the human Jeshiri, adorned by the 112 Son of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazanade, 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 Om Wange Joram, 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 Om Wange Joram. You are the perfect, beautiful body whose flame of wisdom blazes and dispel the darkness of orderly ignorance. I posted before you in the President Manjushiri, Yonekele Jangwabo, Yishi Dome Rodembar, Yedin the Mo Zarwa, Jambar Yang La Zanzerdo. Hongge doje xiaojie reisen zhong yinjie medo deijie bongjong ba zerjie lengbo dawer jibe ge xiaojie jiaogui xiaola ge zangzer dorjien jiangjin delong narod marpa mela jijie gambo ba pamo zheba jarwan zhigong be gajie lama namla zowan de rong ming jijie yinjie bodang Te som san je gen je ngo nye ran sen je gen ngo son don ze be za we lam ya la zo ran de. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, good evening. So now I'm going to share with you first. It's Jikten Sungum Mahamudra. So today we are at that time. I think we are there.
Yes, Khenpo, page 20 at that time.
So yesterday we shared it's one Gambopa. he performing for his student about emptiness realization. So when have realized emptiness, then all these physical things, no same is right now what we perceiving. So all the physical things the same as reflection, moons in the water, or same as rainbow is there, but not physically permanently inherently exist. So then Jiktin Sunggon, no, at that time means like if you have that realization and physical things no distracting and or you can the physical things like you can go through, not blocked, not exist in the solely there. And that time speaking from the perspective of Tantra and followed by the Tantra teaching, one will attain the 11th permit. So the personal realization is a 11th permit Bodhisattva realization. So then the different levels of the Bodhisattva. So usually I think you hear we talk about the 5 paths. And 5 paths is accumulation path, engaging path, seeing path, meditation path, and non-meditation path. So that's called the 5 different paths. But the last one is actually not really path, it's already accomplishment. 5 paths. Then right now, when we create accumulation merit, it's called accumulation merit path. And the accumulation merit path is listening, teaching, contemplating, habituating, and used to. So it's accumulation merit path. The accumulation merit has 3 different levels also. Small accumulation merit path, middle, and big highest level accumulation merit path. So each one go through like lots through the practice, and then engaging part achieve. So the person has a dharma, practice or realization kind of like in seeds is rising in the heart. So truly believe the dharma practice is right, and so your practice is become very warm and feel very strong, powerful. So even we don't have a realize, but through our confident or like through our practice, like 100%, it's true, right? And your love, compassion is in the warm in the heart. So that has also engaging part has 3 different levels. And then go through that after going, then arrive to the seeing part. Seeing part is of course first permit Bodhisattva. Arrive first to me Bodhisattva realization is called absolute truth Bodhisattva. So seeing the truth. That's also like we talked yesterday. There some Jitin Sungwa explain seeing part, knowing the emptiness, truth. Then seeing part is first Pumi Bodhisattva to all the way up to 10th level Pumi Bodhisattva. So followed by Sutra Tantra. Sutra means And then here is the Jitin Sungo mentioned, is from the perspective of Tantra, one will attain the 11th permit. So the constant what is illumination or elimination is as a elimination. So constant elimination. What is Tibetan says? So the 5 elements become clear. So 5 elements clear is the 5 elements elimination. Also, it comes like very clear means like knowing the subtle, level the 5 of the elements. So we receiving the 5 elements very gross level, and the 5 element the element become clear is I think is 5 element is become transforming. It's called usually 5 element transform 5 female Buddha. 5 agree gets is a 5 Buddha, 5 afflictive emotion is transformed to 5 wisdom. So that's the Tantra, the teaching. And our 5 elements is transforming, element transform is then it's become clear, it's very subtle, clear is emptiness. It's knowing the 5 elements like, emptiness. The element transform emptiness, then it's called the elements become 5 females. So we just say emptiness. The point is like element is become not same as like right now what we perceiving. It's a subtle level is a totally different. Subtle element is causes of enlightenment. So example like wing element, subtle wing element is inseparable become mind. So the all element is transforming to then usually also we say 5 female Buddhas. Then in that time, the realize person has a clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is knowing all the like truth, and the dawns and the one's mind. So clairvoyance is like knowing the previous life, many life, and the future life. Also knowing the others like mind and how to benefit them. Then seeing their others karma too, one's mind clear like space, and seeing very clearly. So then reason is mind becomes same as space. Subtlest within the intent of the Tathagata. So then person that who arrive reach to 11 Pimi Bodhisattva, so then that person's realization is a Tathagata Buddha. So means like reaching to enlightenment. So not different, the Buddha is actually already, I think, enlightenment. So subtlest within the intent of the Tathagata. Since the powers, so the Bodhisattva or enlightened, has the powers and the abilities proliferate in the known conceptual expense. So without, conceptual, non-conceptually benefit for others. So same is like the rain, rain didn't have a conceptual, but the rain falling in the sky, or the cause condition comes, rain falling in the sky, and then naturally benefited to the plants. Same is like in this realizer Buddha, also we say after 10th level Pami Bodhisattva, 11th is reaching to, merging into enlightened being, Buddha. So who has this realization? The person know any conceptual thoughts, non-conceptual experience. Then without a conceptual, one display many manifestations. So Mo didn't have a conceptual thoughts, but many manifestation display in the waters. So sun didn't have a thought, conceptual, but each beings like look to the sun, we have their own sun is shining directly to us. Also sun is a reflection on every, water. So same, this Bodhisattva enlightened beings, not conceptual, but due to others beings, karma is rising or something, ready to benefit. Their Bodhisattvas, Buddhas already manifestation without any, try to like organizing, like, conceptually making, but naturally rising for benefiting beings. So benefit others is like naturally benefiting others, non-conceptually. By taming, however, by whatever means, then the taming the other beings, like whatever they need, according to the persons. So that's why enlightened being has many activities. So wrath for activity, magnetizing for activities. Reason is because benefiting beings by taming, however, by whatever means they need according to. So that's Jigten Sunggon's responding or explaining to Khenpo Zopa. And then Zopa again, he asked question again. Zopa said, if after understanding this mode of confusion, one has fervent devotion for the Guru, the practice of Dharma should be more robust hence. Okay, so so the Khenpo Zopa asked questions to Jigten Songgon. So if long as when we know, it's a delusion, long as we have a teaching about Mahamudra, then like understanding this mode of confusion, then once like that person, they don't have to do much, only knowing Guru is an enlightened being, Buddha. So through that devotion, and then it's only that, that is the benefit, that's the Guru's devotion, only kept that, and then be the Mahamudra meditation. So Khenpo Zopa said that it looks like everything's enough, everything's included in that practice. Then Jigten Songgon respond. Jigten Songgon said, there is no from that type of a person after understanding this. So Jigten Songgon said this is according to individual, capacity of different types of person. After understanding, it's Mahamudra teaching, like we introducing nature mind. And after, we knowing or everything's a delusion rising from, and our own nature is rising delusion. So we understand that, and then only keep devotion to Guru is enough, or is depending, depending the person. So after understanding this, so then Jigten Sunggung here explain to Khenpo Zopa, those with the highest capacity liberate instantly by having devotion for the Guru. So the who has a high level capacity and also very strong, connection. We usually say like Marpa Losa Malarepa. And so the Guru and the student have very strong connections. Then that person instantly by having devotion for Guru, they don't go after confusion, and thus they liberate on the spot. So that's have only devotion Guru and supplicate your Guru and meditate Mahamudra, and then person, student, or that can be realized, free from samsara suffering and reach enlightenment. There are also those of intermediate and lesser capacities. So then not the highest capacity, the person is intermediate or lesser capacities, who after understanding that, so who after understand the delusion where is rising, and knowing the Mahamudra, understand that, so then that person need to practice in accordance with the five-fold Dharma. So have to follow by five-part Mahamudra. And Jigten Songpo said, then the person is become not the high capacity, and the intermediate and the lesser capacity ones, then have to follow by bodhicitta, Guru Yadam deity, Guru Yoga, Mahamudra, dedication. So all these different levels have to go through practice. And you have a high level capacity, and then only keep devotion to Guru, and then you can reach enlightenment. Nothing, any other thing you have to do. But if the person is not high this capacity, and then we have to follow by stages, like follow the five-part Mahamudra. So that's a very beautiful, Jigten Songpo explain, giving answer. And we also sometimes like only have a devotion to Guru, and knowing the Mahamudra laws like that is enough. But it can be enough, but it can be not, depending up to us. Then next is so Jigten Songpo no explain here more. More explanation is then how we get these delusions starting, and then so this he going to explain one by one. In general, there are 6 carriers, and one example regarding the mode of confusion. So there are 6 carries and 6 different, steps, and also one example regarding the mode of confusion come from. So now Jigten Songpo, this he going to explain. First, he going to mention about the 6 carries, and then he going to explain one by one. One is one on that basis does confusion arise. So the first is like, basis is like, we already talked, the basis is, Kingye, or and the sutra tradition talk about alaya. And in this, Mahamudra said, usually talk about the basis, or the basis. It's called alaya. Does confusion arise? So then that, alaya, from the alaya, then confusion is arise. So Jigten Sung also explained about this already before very clearly. All basis is all means, everything is dharming. We talked already, dharming mind, delusion mind source. Basis is no exist, is dharmata. So that dharmata is like, who realize is followed by basis dharmata, who not knowing is all confusion source. So then from the basis does confusion rise. So someone going to realize, then this basis is knowing is emptiness, is called dharmata. Dharmata is all the phenomena are the emptiness, not truly inherently exist. So who not knowing that, then is arise delusions. So that's the first starting. Then second is by what cause does confusion arise. Then what is the causes of this confusion arise? Third is at that point of mind does confusion arise. So then when is we get confusion? The third is time, Fourth is what is the essence of confusion? What is the essence of like the reality confusion? Then number five is who does confusion arise? Six is what is the result of confusion? So what is it like? Then is so now Jigten Sunggu, he going to explain one by one. So it is like this. One, what basis does confusion arise? Confusion arise basis on the innate, or basis Kingye Nyungma. So Kingye is alaya. I think you already are explained this one. Kingye is alaya. Or means like we already talked. Or means or the delusion source. And the basis is like, or is like we already talked up there, dharming and source of delusion, dharming mind. Basis is like we already explained up there, is dharmata mind. So all basis is together king ye. King means all, ye means basis. Okay, so king is like Jigten Sunggu already explained, is delusion. Basis means here is dharmata, knowing. So we last week I explained this too. We have a water tank. And then the water goes like two different, one train goes to two different sources. Like can be drinking water, can be go to, restroom, toilet water. And the same is like Kinja is one alaya, and then can be go delusion, dharma mind, can be go to dharmata, basis, so knowing truth. So Kinja Nyuma means like, is Nyuma is a truth, a beginningless time, always there. Then if we follow the word order, or refers to the mind, the dharma, see dharma means like is delusion, which is the mind that craves habitual tendencies. So create habitual tendency. Then pacha sigzi so that means like just which is the mind that craves habitual tendencies. So that's the all dharma mind. The basis is the groundless dharmata, the sphere, but become the basis of confusion after one thinks and supports that it has a basis. So its basis is actually truly is groundless, but not knowing the groundless is then is fixation or to like become attached to or fixation to that. So that's why it's the groundless, the dharmata, the sphere, but become the basis of confusion. Is not knowing it is groundless. It's become confusion arising. So same like I mentioned last week. Our form is appeared in the mirror. Maybe we don't recognize its form is my own. Its form is arising in the mirror. So we think, okay, someone is in the shining, in the arising in the mirror. So that's the same, confusion rising. Dharma, basis is actually groundless emptiness, but manifestations comes and we don't recognize that is our own manifestation. So our own manifestation arises in the mirror. We not knowing it is our own manifestation. Is we think someone is in the mirror. So that's the starting like confusion starting come from. Then second is by what causes does confusion arise? So it arises out of ignorance. So confusion is the source is ignorance, because of not knowing. And our form is like appeared in the mirror, but it's not knowing is my own form is arising in the mirror. So that is called ignorance. So ignorance means being ignorant about one's own reality. So not knowing our own reality. Ignorance means, for example, let's consider so this example is a little bit funny. For example, let's consider me who has never seen his own male sexual organ, does not even know its name, and has no clue whether or not he has one. At a certain point of time, he somehow sees it and therefore feeling uneasy, he thinks about cutting it off. So he rolls it and thus, since he cannot believe it is actually there. So that's the like confusion, like means like actually we have, but we know recognize we have that. And same is like sometimes like people don't recognize our own shadows, and that thing is a shadow is follow them chasing. Someone chasing them. So similar. And here we don't recognize our own sexual organs. It's like maybe this is an example, just someone that doesn't recognize he has that. So then one day he think it's not comfortable, want to cut off. So that's similarly. And the delusion is rising from ourselves, but we not knowing it is rising from ourselves. And we see that is something in object exists there. So he roars it, and thus since he cannot believe it is actually there, it goes through various suffering. Similarly, not knowing that wisdom that is actually present in oneself, one accumulates various habitual tendencies and therefore become confused. So then this, not knowing is actually we have is our own, but not knowing, not knowing is not knowing that wisdom. That is actually present in oneself is not knowing. Then one accumulates various habitual tendencies. So, and then that habitual tendency and therefore become a confused rise. Confusion, delusion rise, confusions. So same is like, it's a movie and television. So we seeing, television. It's not actually person is in the television. It's not truly there. So many movies like also like, it's not true. They're just performing, great. But then people who watch the movie, they're exactly feeling everything is going on their truth. That's why we get all the feelings, upset or happy or like fears. When we watch a movie, we have that feelings going on. The reason is because not knowing it is like it is a delusion there, and our mind is already fixation to that. Then it's the movie is like actually truth for us. So that's the same as like confusion rising. So no, also we have this Mahamudra teaching, and we knowing actually is everything's a delusion, but still we have a strong fixation already in the external object, and then even it's a delusion, but due to fixations, then become actually is truth already for us. Same as a movie, if you make the movie, their nose is like everything is like making no truth. It's not right. Everything we know how to make the movies is but and who perform after the person also exactly that feeling is truth who watch. And then people who watch the movies, we all have feelings because due to fixation. And some movies very dangerous, scared for, and then we get fears. So everything like, due to and the external conditions, like mind is fixation, it's everything's become truth for us. So that's so just the same, like usually TV also, like, movie, yeah, it's in the you play in the TV and your wherever you're in the laptop, computer, so or you go to movie theaters, you watch, but actually reality truly person is not there, but you have exactly feeling, and everything's going on there, within there, because it's due to fixations, a delusion. We already create a karmic imprint habituate there. So then at what point of time does confusion arise? So then when is the confusion arising from the timing? Answer is arises when the mind is imported as the aspect that causes its own movement. So then when it arises this confusion, when the mind is imported, mind is imported is also talk about unbeginningless time. The basis is not truly inherent exist, but it's already our mind, fixation, create karmic imprints, become hold the truth, exist, and then started a delusion. So everything, right? Even you're going to like watch one movie, when you start a movie and then you already mind is already imported as an aspect, then already it's deluded, start a movie beginning to end. So this imported, mind is imported. My understanding is we have that delusion already on beginningless time until now, but also we have this delusion every single day. And then even like one you just doing something, one section, so one movie you watch, starting beginning until end, so your mind already is imported to the movie, then you already, causes of a delusion already, causes its own movement. So moreover, the economity so okay, moreover, the economity of the all basis abides as dharma dharto. So that's the actually truth, reality, economity of the all basis abides as the dharma dharta. Dharma dharta is also sometimes we call dharma dharta wisdom. So, and since what does not cease from the dharma dharta is discriminated, the notion of object and mind or many dualistic fixation manifest. So true reality is economity of all the basis abides as the dharma dharta. And the oneness, kind of, we say economity, oneness, dharma dharta, emptiness. And since, what does not cease from the dharma dharta emptiness is become, oneness is discriminated. And the notion of object and mind or many dualistic fixation manifest. So there, one movie create, then they make thousands of copies. Okay, one picture, shoot, and the person, the rare person, okay, is a calamity of like that. The only one is basis is one, and that person is not actually picture, right? And then after you create many pictures. One picture create many pictures. So that means like discriminate notion of object and mind or many dualistic fixation manifest. So manifest many become. This is the moment in which confusion arises. So that's the confusion is arising from. If taking picture, then it's called equanimity. And we take one picture and then it's already started the delusion, and then they make many thousands pictures, and then of course that the picture have like thousands pictures copies. So then that's subject in the mind, many dualistic fixations manifest. So this is the moment in which confusion arises. If we know example like shooting the movie, then its economic or basis abides as the Dharma Dharma. We create one movie and then you copy many, and then goes to market, and so then that is discriminated. The notion of object and the mind means like then some people like it, some people doesn't like it. Some people get very strong feelings, different kind going on. So that means like dualistic fixation manifest. This is the moment in which confusion arises. The term is like confusion rising is. Then next is so the essence of confusion is self-fixation, dat and zingpa. So that's the first, the Jigten Sung's fourth caution. So essence of confusion is a self-fixation. Self-fixation is the essence of confusion. That is the afflicted mind. Nyamomba, so that is the afflictive mind, is called Nyamomba. So looks inward at the space like all bases and fixated on it is the self. So then it's we have fixation, self-fixation. Self-fixation is where does it come from? Self-fixation is come from the afflictive mind. So afflictive mind looks inward at the space, like all bases and the fixation on it as the self. Means like afflictive emotion look to mind. They don't see mind is dharma dharma, and basis is emptiness. Self is emptiness, not recognize that. And then afflictive emotion look to mind and become attached fixation to that. It's called arising self, I and self. The mental consciousness looks outward and follows the consciousness of the five senses doors. Then that this the afflictive mind look inside and fixation to I and self. Actually, I self is not exist, but ordained that fixation to and I self. So that is called self. Self is rising from there, and then log out, logs outside. Then the mental consciousness logs outward and follow the consciousness of the five senses doors through the five senses doors. Thus, it accumulated various karmic causes and become confused by many alayas, many analysis, many analyses such as being one or two and self or others. So, this mind is locked out and through our five doors, and then chasing all the five objects is become true, and through that create then karma, due to karma then, and become so rising all these confusions, being on one or two and self or others. Then how does confusion rise? By importing labels. So how does confusion rises? By importing labels, put the labels such as outer container and inner content. Then outer level, we put the labels, outer container, and inner also inner continent. And first, like we said, this is a world, outer container. The inner or this is sentient beings. Then inside there also we create so many, divisions, become separations. It's like different countries, and then different nationalities. So then they put all its labels and names, Then we put the country's name and then state name, and then each state has different levels of the, cities. Then go to villages, then go to families. So, then go to individual. Each has put the names, so labels. Through the unelaborated essence of the mind, one perceives the label as rare. So then we put the label, and the label that is become as rare. It's truth. So that's always we create, like you make one movie, and then we put the label for that, and then they got like many copies, and so many delusions create. Actually, we put the labels. The label is not truly exist there. Same as like we create a movie, then put the label, name, and then make many copies. And then who watch, everyone get deluded together, So same, then one takes the labels as objects of perceptions, and therefore develops many types of attachments and aversions. So then become, we know, like movies go to in the market. After, the people who watch the movies, so they develops many types of attachment and aversions. So that's the actually who make the movie. Their job is like making attachment or aversion or fears. So this emotion is have to rising. Or the movie is like creating, like for the reason is like make people emotion rising. then you rising emotion, then movies become great, good, So this, the like actually movies not truly exist, but even no label name also not exist, but we put the label and the name and then put in the market and create many copies, and many people make Java crazy. So that's the same, delusion means. Thereby becoming confused in terms of perceive and perceiver. Then we have a subject and object. So who watch the movie, and then also object is a movie. Subject is who watch the movie. Same, we have this subject and object become. Then the next is the result of confusion. What is the result of confusion? Okay, the confusion is okay. Then what is the result problem is? The result problem is wandering through the 6 realms and experiencing suffering. So become create 6 realm different sufferings. So the then this result is of confusion is wandering through the 6 realms and experience suffering. So we already talked, like example movie is create like attachment or anger. Then not knowing is ignorance, or is there together. So then that create karma, and then it's samsara suffering, like same. We first we know knowing is reality truth, and get confusion, and then attach to and hatred to, and then create a karma and go to 6 realms. 6 realm means suffering. So experience is a suffering. All these are the neither created by someone else nor have come from somewhere else. They are there due to the confusion of one's own mind only. Then confusion is a suffering, samsara. So that confusion is not come from somewhere else. So they say all these are neither created by someone else, someone not create us, nor have come from somewhere else. So that means like the God not create us, and so no have come from somewhere else. Oh, this like suffering is then come from somewhere else, not somewhere else. Okay, they are there due to the confusion of one's own mind only. So we create our own confusions, and that means like we are our own creator. We create ourselves because due to our own delusion and not knowing, and then not knowing, ignorance, delusion, then attachment, anger, jealousy, pride, ego, all these emotions rising. So this emotion result is suffering, samsara. So the samsara suffering is actually like not created by anyone. So we create ourselves. It's always our own delusions. So then, as example of confusion, is that it is similar to an insight beat in a dream. So this is we talked already 6 delusion. Explain the 6 different ways confusion come from. No, it's example. Example of confusion is that it is similar to an insight bite in a dream. One must know how to counter and eliminate one's confusion in that regard. So the confusion is arising similar to inside beat is like one of the another, inside there has like something like come from their mouth. So seeing we catch, so then that tight itself, come from itself, tight up itself. So they're create, there's they're like inside bite in, so it's there one inside and create like strength from their body and the mouth something, and then they're they are stuck inside themselves. They create from themselves, they stuck it themselves. So the point is okay, and so we create ourselves, negative karma or these delusions. We stuck in samsara with ourselves, and then our dream is also we projecting our own dreams. We project ourselves. Dream is. So one must know how to counter and eliminate. So this inside bite means the inside also like the string, like sometimes the stuck themselves, but they can sometimes they can knows how to take out itself. So same, like we create our own delusions. So we have to know how to cut our own delusions, or we have to know how to free from our own delusions. One's confusion in that regard. So one must know, how to counter and eliminate one's confusion in that regard. So then next is like how to this counter and eliminate one confusion is that regard, like how to cut that delusion within ourselves. So that's the dictation we're going to explain next ones. And we do the next week, this one. Then that is like, next week is like, then dictation we're going to share the stages. Like this is for become more, not sharp faculties, middle and lesser faculty have to go through the, stages. And so then he going to like sharing the stages and how to this confusion delusion is like, eliminate. Okay, so we finish there today. And then please don't forget the next week there are many methods for eliminating confusion. So today we live in the delusion. So next week we do this cut delusion. So now we go to the Pardo teaching, the Pato Rinpoche's Pardo teaching. So yesterday we share, so that's a most important part. Yesterday sharing, like white drop descending down, red drop ascend up, and then meeting in the heart center. So during that time, anger, attachment, ignoring, three of them also is stopped. Three of them stopped, and then also shining this truth, reality. So the point is when we die, so we have to recognize this stage experience. So if we recognize, then have ability to hold Mahamudra meditation in this state. So long as we have ability to hold our own mind, nature, Rigpa, then we can be liberated in the death pardo, liberation in the death pardo, so-called Dharmakaya liberation. So then when the subtle is essences of blood and breath, the Bindu and home, so the wing, the subtle essence is of the blood, subtle breath. These two is and the Bindu are and home, aham, dama tigli aham, and so on, which are inside the white circle thread like channel in their heart, or dissolve completely the grown luminosity of a moment of death arises. So, yesterday, the essence of father, mother essence in the mid-heart center joining together. And so, then actually wisdom method is going inseparable, bliss is rising. So in that moment, then this subtle our blood and breath going into the inside the white silken thread. That is an example, like white, very white, tiny channel. Channel is white, very thin. It's look like silken thread. Means like very small white channel, tiny, inside the body, and so go through that. These two is blood and breath. Then that's go into in the heart is become in the heart channel in the heart. That moment all dissolve completely, means then dissolve all the inner breathe and everything like inner level become dissolved and completely dead. Then that moment the grown luminosity of the moment of death arises. So grown luminosity is like Dharmakaya, nature is rising. So it's a grown luminosity means like mother luminosity. Usually we share child luminosity, mother luminosity. And right now our practice meditation is called child luminosity. We create, like we used to and practice, like we have our own realization is called child luminosity. And when this death subtle level is dissolved, blood and breath subtle is into the subtle level channel, white channel inside, they'll go into heart, then death. And that moment, this mother luminosity, grown luminosity, mother luminosity, sometimes we use that words, then of the moment of death arise. So as an ultrasound, there is an experience of emptiness and clarity without the center or periphery. So this auto level experience, is then or it's like become emptiness, same as space. Like we look to in the space, like no any clouds, and the space is blue, empty, like that, it's called emptiness representative. Dharmakaya means like that emptiness experience arising, like big vast space, blue. And then there also the clarity, without center or preface, like then there no like center and edges. Like this is explained by in the Genji Mahamudra. So Mahamudra realization is, same as a space, no center, no edge, no boundaries. And same, when we are in this experience arising, there's no this physical form. And all this, everything's become emptiness, same as a space. And then that's also no nothingness, is a clear, appearance is rising, clarity is rising. Then like a cloudless sky, say no clouds, free from clouds. When it is completely clear, so that is a completely clear rising. As in inner sun, you remain in co-emerging non-conceptual wisdom that is entirely without elaboration. So then inner sun is, say, so you remain in co-emerging non-conceptual co-emerging wisdom. So non-conceptual is called co-emerging wisdom. We have also co-emerging ignorance. It's not knowing the true and starting delusion. So this one is, say, no delusion there. Is remain in co-emerging non-conceptual wisdom. So that is entirely without elaboration, means like no any conceptual and no fixation or no any thoughts in there. Elaboration. It's become pure oneness, truth. So that is called mother luminosity. If we recognize that, then recognition is called child luminosity. Like, meditators can be recognized. It is the Mahamudra rising in the death pardo. So if we meditate in this life during the lifetime, and then we in that state, okay, this is Mahamudra. You recognize the recognition is called child luminosity, because child recognizes our own mother. And then mother-child reuniting means like our meditation, during the love meditation, we have the habituate karmic imprints, and that experience is rising in this pardo, death pardo. We recognize it is my, practice, my own practice, knowledge or wisdom. So knowing that is become our own practice is in this ground how to say this ground elimination or the ground luminosity, and this become inseparable. So that means then become realized, reach to enlightenment. If having recognized this, see, if recognize this, you can settle into ongoing experience of the present moment. Mother and the child, okay, here already explained. The child luminosity will be meet together, and you will be liberated in the first pardo. So, if having recognized this, who have to recognize? We have to recognize this. What we have to recognize? we have to recognize inner sun. Inner sun is, remain in co-emerging non-conceptual wisdom that is entirely without elaboration. So that's Mahamudra. And that's shining into the death pardo. We have to recognize that. How do we recognize this? In the right now, this teaching. And we create our karmic imprint habituate during the lifetime. So then we can recognize. Same is like you have in this Vajrasattva picture. Okay, so you watch again this picture image, and when you close eye, this image is rising in your mind, and not eye seeing. The mind seeing very clearly this Vajrasattva. Then rare Vajrasattva is appear into the pardo. You right away recognize this is okay. It's Vajrasattva. And example, this is image is like same as a child luminosity. Child luminosity means like in the dream right now we are alive, we used to this form of image. It's close eye and like appear in mind, and even this forms appear in the dream. Your dream also you recognize it is Vajrasattva. This image is somewhere else, tankas, statues, or you right may recognize is Vajrasattva. So that's we have to create like Mahamudra meditation habituate during this lifetime, and then when in the pardo rare this ground luminosity Mahamudra is rising, mother luminosity is rising, and then we recognize the right moment there. It is our own practice or truth, Mahamudra. So recognize this. You can settle into to ongoing experience of the present moment. So mother and the child luminosity will meet together in the death pardo, and you will be liberated in the first pardo. So that's called first pardo is liberation into Dharma Kaya. So then, in that state, even the Mahamudra liberation, in this called Mahamudra liberation, it's called Dharma Kaya liberation. Then we have a Sambhona Kaya liberation, we have a Nirmana Kaya liberations, so different liberations. So that's why the practice right now, if someone has this ability to reach liberation first state, that is the power of Mahamudra and Dzogchen meditation. Okay, if second state who realize liberate is called power of the Yidam deity practice. Then in this context, empty luminosity is explained according to the general approach of the Tantras. So Pato Rinpoche say he explained this liberation, first part of liberation is followed by Buddha's Tantra teachings. Whereas how the form of the deities arise out of the clear light, how the thickness of legs and so on appear are explained in the Dzogchen Tantras. So also the Pato Rinpoche say he just explain mother luminosity, child luminosity, reuniting, explain is followed by Buddha's Tantra teachings. Then also Pato Rinpoche say like actually there has also Dzogchen teaching has explain this during that time where the form of the deity arise, deity, the it's through the the luminosity actually, is rising also, like clarity is rising into the deity. Deity is a rise out of the color light. Color light is rising the deity. In the some, this is the can be, many diversity because due to practitioners. Someone who has Dzogchen Mahamudra meditation with Yadam deity practicing, then color light is rising, is colorated light is also deity's forms rising too. Then how the Tigles is like, essence of the light, essence of the like body's essence of the body. So how the tigle of light and so on. So tigle also rising the, deity's form body. So on, appear are explained in the Dzogchen Tantras. In the Dzogchen teaching also they have explained about essence of the body's essence is rising the deity, or clear light is rising the Yadam deity. So they have many different ways explain, and of course the different this Dharma practitioner realize there has a different in the realization experience in this pardo. So the point is Patrul Rinpoche, he mother luminosity, child luminosity reuniting is followed by Buddha's Tantra teaching. And then also he said, like in the Dzogchen teaching, the many masters also explain our clear light is rising the deity, our essence of the body, Tigle, Bingdu also rising the deity. They also have different ways, like, reach to liberation. Nevertheless, it would seem to be rare for these two unfold in a way that provides an opportunity for liberation. So, nevertheless, it would seem to be rare for this to unfold in a way that provides an opportunity for liberation. Don't understand very clearly what means that.
Unusual that.
It means that it's very rare. You have to be highly developed to recognize what is happening at that moment.
Mm.
Well, if you go to the note at the bottom, Khenpo, number 6, there's an explanation there.
Okay, so then that's good explanation. So the point is like we have to like used to and habitual and the practices become more like adopting, right? Habituate strongly. And then it's possible to happen this, but otherwise not easy. So that's I think the main point. Would seem to be rare for this, means like very hard to is rising to happen this to unfold in a way that provides an opportunity for liberation. So it's the point we have to, I think, have to practice a lot in this during the lifetime, and then that's have opportunity to liberation in this state. So I think we leave there today, and we have some time, right? And you can ask questions. And please make the notes. It's the next order of the luminosity is next week. Rahul, your job, okay? Next
Khenpo,
order.
I'm writing it down now.
And I don't have page numbers. After Dharmakaya liberation. After first liberation. Thank you. So now we have a short time, and you have questions. I think you can raise the hand, and then organizers can unmute, I think, like this way. That's okay.
Yes, Khenpo, everybody's unmuted now. But if you raise your hand, it will work better so we know who is first, second, and third, and so on. Yes, Susie, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Rinpoche. So just a little clarification on this moment here. In the union of mother and child, that co-emergent meeting creates the luminosity that you're calling ground luminosity now, or mother luminosity? Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry,
Yes.
first of all. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. So the moment of co-emergent with child and mother luminosity, that definition is called ground luminosity or mother luminosity. Are they the same?
Ground luminosity, mother luminosity is the same.
Okay, and the union together is what creates that from child to mother, correct?
Yeah, then just our long as you realize in long as you realize in this death pardo, so that's called child luminosity, recognize mother luminosity. That's just a name, words.
Okay.
The point is like you recognize it is Dharmakaya.
So if you recognize it as Dharmakaya, it does not matter anything other than that moment recognition. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, A1. Yeah, go ahead. A179.
A 179横。
问一下，
OK，
就是很多这个修法都是身体四力这个观想，但是我这20来年，就是任何形象也观想不出来。但是说到这个大手印的时候，就是说我一天24小时就是有这种大乐和清明的这种觉受，几乎是持续，包括睡觉的晚上的时候都是，但是没有任何形象。
你的问题是什么？
我的问题就是平时修持的时候都是身体次第，比如说要观想各种形象，但是我什么也观想不出来。这个大手印，这个听了以后觉得跟自己很相应，就是说一天24小时都有清明和大乐的这种接触是持续不，包括睡觉了睡着了以后也是这样，工作学生活日常生活，他这种觉受都是没有。但是没有任何。
然后你的问题是 ，Hello，
我就是
你的问题是什么？这状况好还是不好吗？
就是我就是应该怎么修啊？
Okay,
因为我
Khenpo. He said, my situation is like this. I cannot visualize a deity or form clearly. But if you want, after listening to your Mahamudra teaching or Dzogchen teaching, I can maintain that kind of great bliss or clarity almost 24 hours. Even
Okay.
in my dream, even in my sleep, I can maintain that kind of state of clarity and great bliss. So it's easy for me to practice this, to do this kind of practice, formless practice. So am I doing correctly or not? Yes.
Doing correctly, yes. As long as you can do that, it's very easy to do Yadam deity.
如果
Visualize the, not mind, no thoughts. Then you look to the Buddha's image, like whatever you look, like naturally mind is connected to that.
上司回答说，如果你能够保证这个清明无时不刻能够大乐，在睡梦中你保证这个大乐跟清明的话，你就应该利用这个空性的这个状态呢，观修本尊回过头来好好的观修本尊是可以的，你应该利用这个机会来修本尊吧。
Thank you.
Khenpo, I have a question. Could you explain in number 4, it says, as an inner sign, you remain in co-emergent non-conceptual wisdom. Could you explain what co-emergent non-conceptual wisdom is?
So that's we explained yesterday, like all this Dzogchen teaching, Mahamudra explain about that. And the last way we talked lots about the Jigten Sunggo's book, in this teaching, and the co-emerging wisdom, co-emerging ignorance. Co-emerging wisdom is like just not deluded, it's knowing is its own true nature. It's a co-emerging wisdom, knowing.
But
Okay.
what is the co-emergent? Because co means that there's
there,
more than one.
Is always there, never lost, always with you.
Okay, so the wisdom and the self is the same.
Self-arising, no door Buddha wisdom.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Tina?
顶礼仁波切弟子想请问一下，就是皈依金刚乘的皈依是要皈依分脉明点就是通过有声音吗？
有。
那就是说通过修分脉明点就可以成佛弟子呢就是不能够理解这个我们是皈依佛法僧，分脉明点太抽象了，不知道是什么意思。就是在法本上看到的文字，还是不能够感觉到那个是什么就祈请仁波切能不能用通俗的话，能够让我们明白这个是什么？为什么修他们就可以成佛？然后这个分脉明点和菩提心是什么关系？感恩。
Khenpo, in Vajrayana we talk about the practice of energy, channel, and tikle and all these things. What is the connect? How to do this kind of practice? It's because she's quite new to Vajrayana, and what is the relationship between this practice and bodhicitta?
Okay, so we generate a bodhicitta, and then that connect into your wing and your essence. So it's become called bodhicitta. It's inner bodhicitta, tigle, and the wing. And that's that practice is like actually of course love, compassion, and the practice of Yadam Deity, then that channel inside chakra being the what we're talking about inner is naturally is connected to there. And nothing to specifically do anything with that. And the important is just love, compassion. This practice teaching you, we're doing that, others naturally is going to open.
人们界的回答就是说，这个当我们修这个菩提心的时候，菩提心包括慈心跟悲心。当慈悲心跟菩提心圆满修正的时候，你把那个菩提心的修持融入自己身体里面，就变成气和脉跟明点的自然的形成。所以这个阶段不要太过于在意这个细节的气脉明点的修法，只要把菩提心跟慈悲心修好。身体部分的气脉明点自然会不求自得。
So we, have a seed. Seeds is you have to put in the ground, like earth, water, or this sun going to open to seeds. Like you cannot open the seeds, otherwise destroying seeds, right? And same, like this wing channel. This all talk about the chakras is compassion and wisdom have to open to that through practice the Yadam date is nothing to any other they specifically go to open that one.
这个仁波切说，这个佛性的种子种下去之后，就好像大地有这个种子种下去之后，我们需要一个肥沃的土地，这个阳光、雨水滋润，才能够长大成树嘛。所以，我们这个菩提的种子，种下去之后，我们需要本尊观的一些特别的修法，比如说气啊、脉啊、明点的，来辅助它，来帮助它开花结果整个过程其实就是这样。
Yes, if you want
非常感恩。
flower, beautiful flower, so we need good soil and water, to like then put the seeds in the naturally seeds is open to flower. If you use like some tools open the seeds, then seeds is going to damage.
所以你要开花结果，这个种子你不能直接把那种子剖开，种子剖开就没有生命了嘛。所以你需要浇花去浇水，把它放在这个肥沃的土地上，然后给它足够的阳光，慢慢的日复一日的这样做的话，有一天它就自然开花结果。佛法的修持也不外就是如此啊。
非常感恩仁波切。
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah, so that's many people has these questions actually dropped, and everybody wanted to open the chakras and the channels, and they don't want to practice.
很多人有这样的，有这样。
They don't want to put the seeds in the ground and put water,
很多人都有这样的疑惑，忍不住说，就是想要把自己的气啊、脉啊、明点啊什么打开，可是就不想要修这个慈悲心，就等同于要把这个种子硬硬的催它成长，可是不愿意浇花，不愿意给它阳光，给它足够的阳光、足够的水，这叫做本末倒置啊。
And I explained that a lot. If I want to open the up inside the phone, so I need internet and battery. Then can go inside the apps. Otherwise, no internet, no battery. I say I'm going to open apps, use tools, then the phone is going to damage.
所以用过这个例子很多次了。那人们就说，就是我要把这个手机里面的 APP 打开的话，那就需要这个网络跟足够的电池。可是如果没有这两者的存在的话，那用这个用其他工具打开这个手机的话，就把这手机给弄坏了哈。
Then even you open, you cannot find anything there.
你用工具把这手机打开，也找不到你要找的 APP，因为它根本不在里面。
So that's why doctors cut the bodies, they don't find anything there.
所以呢，医生打开我们的身体剖开我们的身体，找不到所谓的气脉明点的存在了，是看不到的。
Yes, thank you.
好，谢谢。
非常感恩仁波切。
Thank you very much, Khenpo.
Okay, next
One,
one.
one, one.
Yeah, that's the next question.
顶
下一
礼上师，
个问题，
顶礼上师，能听到我的声音吗？
有，可以说。
哎，好的，我想请问一下上师，3个问题，就是说在白天，在观这个虚空的时候，就感觉 就是说感到那个虚空非常清朗朗的，但是呢，它那个虚空当中，它会出现那个五颜六色的颜色，然后也是有那个明点在晃，这是不是法界镜灯？这是第一个问题。然后
法界什么？
法界镜灯是那个大圆满里面说的那个是
啊
这个镜框
，OK，嗯哼，
状态。
这第一个问题先问哈，呃
行，一个一个的。第
，OK，
二个问题就是，在这个
嗯
在睡梦的时候，就是说
嗯
在睡下的时候发完菩提心，然后就开始，在这个就是睡梦的初期，他就感觉闭上眼睛之后啊，他就在这个黑暗当中，有一种那个空荡荡、明朗朗的那种感受。但是呢，就
嗯
是坚持不了很长时间，就那个就迷糊了。然后在梦中的时候，就是说梦也比较少。他那个，我想请教一下上师，那个梦光明，到底是什么样？给一点那个提示。第三个问
，OK，
题呢，就是第三个问题呢，就是
嗯
说，在那个小树林儿里面，在那个散步的时候啊，特别是阴天的时候，就是说用那个手机屏幕，然后照着看的时候啊，就那旁边那个树木就那个晃晃悠悠那个什么，然后就安住在那个境界当中，算不算也是在修空性？然后
嗯哼，
第四个就是请求上师能不
哦，
能给传一个六中音的灌顶哦，阿弥陀佛，感恩上师。
呃
嗯，
hope I can remember the questions, Kevin. First one is that she looked at the empty space and then practice emptiness. So, but she saw some lights coming out from the sky. Is this the manifestation of a tickly or clear light?
Uh, no, I don't think like that way. It's
Uh,
so you know maybe just her minds and no thoughts only focus in the space like some in space shining something, but have to tickle means like not like that way. I
就是
parents I cannot really explain that.
就是因为这是不太方便公开，就是说，总之你看着天空，你看到有明点啊光的显现，一般上那个不是真正的明点，可能是你的心的投影或者投射，真正的明点呢，恐怕不是在这公开的场合能够随便的这样说了哈。你的第一个问题哦
哦
，sec，第二个问题是问什么了？
睡梦
睡
当中，
梦瑜伽。
嗯。
Uh, can you give us practical advice how to practice dream yoga? A few hard advice.
So practice dream yoga is mm, I just mentioned same before, and I want to have it. I'm going to do dream yoga, and all dreams are going to take practice. So that's also not possible if we don't practice at daytime. If not practicing, then not possible to dream is recognized. Take to the practice.
Mhm.
So dream yoga is means like we practice in the daytime, habituate yidam deity practice or Mahamudra, and then night in the sleep you have the experience comes.
梦瑜伽，上司的答案就是说，你梦瑜伽就是当你要睡觉的时候，你起了一个愿或者发一个心说，我要开始修这个梦瑜伽，然后发愿呢，把梦中的一切境界都能够转为道用，转入于这个佛道上的修持，这是梦瑜伽的基本的概念跟建议。可是如果你在白天的时候没有把这功课给做好，比如说本尊法没有修好，大手印没有修好。那即便是你在做梦的时候有一些梦境的显现呢，你还是不能够转为道用的。所以梦瑜伽固然重要，可是呢，白天的本尊的修法跟大手印的修法也是必须要先圆满的，才能够进入梦瑜伽的修行的次第。Third question, Kamala. When I was walking in the forest, actually, So I look at the sky begin to fall dark, and then I I stabilize my mind in that kind of state. Is that emptiness? Is that sunyata that I'm experiencing?
I cannot say it's emptiness, shunyata, because we cannot, understand like others like experience, explain.
这上次
That's
说，上次你问上次这个境界，这是不是这个，是不是那个？因为上次很难指明说你那个时候的情景是不是就是有这个正量或者有这个境界，所以一般上很难说是或者不是哦。好，那 fourth is a request, Khenpo. Can you give us the empowerment of the 6 bardos, teaching on empowerment of 6 bardos?
6 Bardo empowerment. They don't have a 6 Bardo empowerment. It's called Sheto empowerment, could be. And then Sheto means like Vajrasattva empowerment, Chinreza empowerment. And so that's the, usually performing. That's when they have Vajrasattva empowerment, Chinreza empowerment. So you're receiving that, then you're receiving the Bardo empowerment.
那个中音，这个所谓的中音六教法，有6中音的教法，不需要灌顶，没有灌顶。那你灌顶所指的可能是文武百尊的灌顶吧？那是有所谓的金刚萨埵的灌顶啊，观世音菩萨的灌顶的。那你可以通过这个中音文武百尊的灌顶而得到这些教授。好
Thank you. So
好的
then
好，下一个问题，
2 questions, like short question, please.
简单的问题好吗？
Okay, 111. Please go ahead.
One is finish.
堪布老师好，然后翻译老师好。
No.
我的问题是，死亡中音有3个阶段，第一阶段是临终中音 （Bud of Dying），第2个阶段是法性中音，然后 Bud of Dharmata，第3个阶段是投生中音 （Bud of Becoming）。那么我们知道，就是在法性中音阶段的话，就是可以通过认出母光明而获得解脱。那么我的问题是在临终中音，就是第1个阶段的死亡中音的话，我们怎么样来获得解脱？有什么比较好的方法或者窍诀？谢谢。
So there's 3 stages of Bardo Khenpo. The first stage is dying, the Bardo of dying, the Bardo of second is Bardo of Dharmata, then third is Bardo of becoming. So what's the best way to attain liberation during the Bardo of death or the Bardo of dying?
This first one, Dharmakaya, first liberation.
第一个的法身解脱，就是最好的第一个阶段中的解脱方法。法身
那
成就。
第1个阶段的法身解脱怎么做呢？就是认出觉性吗？还是有什么具体的方法？
What is the practical method to attain liberation at for the Dharmakaya liberation? Is it recognize our awareness?
Yeah, it's a meditation, this Mahamudra teaching
是
practice.
大手印的那个正量，你这时候拿出来就是了哈，正入这个就是了。
好的，谢谢。
Thank you. No.
Okay, 237.
237，开心。
Yeah, maybe next one, Jane.
Jing.
Oh, there is one.
Jing.
金，
老师你好，
好
请教可不可以请Rinpoche有机会传地藏菩萨的灌顶？上次有传过法门，可不可以要求请求地藏菩萨的灌顶？谢谢。
地藏菩萨灌顶灌过了。
灌过。
好，
那是教学灌顶。
灌顶有啊。
So Jane is the last one. We already mentioned the last one.
好。Khenpo, can you give us the empowerment of Siddhigarbha? 上音不？
Sai Nyingpo Siddhigarbha, we see, I don't know, has empowerment.
好，我们看看有没有这样的机会哈。
Thank you. So now we finish
谢谢
it. Today.
好，我们就此结束了哈。
Going to do the open dedication together. Dorje Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma, Lord Gambopa, Pamutupa, Lord Digompa, please bestow upon us most auspicious bliss or Kaju Lamas. But this virtue may achieve nations by defeat our enemies of confusion. May all who travels on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent, precious mind, where it is humble, made a rising, where it is born, may not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Majeshri Vero realized automatic state and as did Samantha, but I will follow in the path and to fully dedicate ordinary for sentient beings. By the bliss of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the bliss of the true unchanging Dharma as such, by the bliss of the indivisible Sangha order, may the Mary Ashe bear fruit. By the virtues collected in 3 times by my 7 organs in samsara and nirvana, and by the rule of virtue and my all sentient beings calculating and surpass perfect complete precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Gita Gompa Ranachari, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation at the end of the samsara. Om mani padme hum, mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum, mani padme hum. Thank you, everyone. And if you come back, you can come to 6 p.m. Vancouver time again. And good day, good evening.
Thank you, Khenpo. Thank you so
Khenpo.
much.
Okay,
Hola,
hasta
muchas
luego.
gracias.
Good
Thank you,
day.
Raul. Beautiful job
Thank you.
per usual. Thank you, Debbie and Shara.
谢谢三度，谢谢关丽老师，谢谢大家。
Thank you so much, Campola.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Grazie, gracias. Ciao a tutti.
Thank
you.
感恩上师。
Have fun.
Thank you,
Arigato.
Khenpo.
You're welcome.
Welcome, everyone.
感恩上师。